can be collected at the department between 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. To facilitate a smooth business license renewal process and collect one certificate, taxpayers must present a valid receipt from the Registrar of Companies and the Nevis Financial Services Regulatory Commission, FSRC, where applicable, and must be up to date with their respective tax obligations. We wish to also advise that failure to renew on or before the 31st of January of each year will result in an interest charge of 1% monthly and a penalty of $100 per month for every month that the license remains unpaid. Thank you for listening and have a blessed day.
The afternoon time has now moved on to 12:22 in the studios of One Radio and across the Eastern Caribbean. And of course, we are here with three lovely ladies from the Inland Revenue Department, and of course I'm just going to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves. But before we do that, well, I might as well get right into it. We have Mrs. Neva Manners-Limonta, Miss Jamila Clark, and Miss Olivia Kelly. And good afternoon to you, ladies.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so basically, how are you guys doing today?
We're doing good, and how are you?
I am doing good. I'm just keeping busy, and of course more interested in, making sure you ladies get the word out as it pertains to what's going on at the Inland Revenue Department. And so, ladies, now that we've gotten all those things out the way, before we do so, could you just tell the radio listeners your position? I know, Neva, you're the comptroller.
Deputy comptroller.
Deputy comptroller, and make sure. And Jamila, you are...
Good afternoon. I'm a senior tax officer at the Taxpayer Services Division.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good afternoon to our listeners.
Yes.
I'm Olivia Kelly at the Collections Unit, tax officer at the Collections Unit.
Okay, and so based on what I understand, I know sometime recently the Inland Revenue Department, and when I say Inland Revenue Department, I'm not just speaking about Nevis, I'm speaking about St. Kitts and Nevis, federally. They would have launched something called smarts, and I guess it's in keeping with the fact that we have smartphones, smart TVs, etc. And so, could you just tell the radio listeners, what does the acronym or abbreviation SMARTS stand for?
The acronym SMART stands for Sustainable Modernized Administrative Revenue Tax System. You may ask when this went live. This went live on the 6th of February 2024 with a phased approach where we just launched unincorporated business tax, value-added tax, and corporate income tax. You may be wondering, what does it mean for our current taxpayers? It means that...
Okay, maybe Olivia would like to go into a little bit more as to our new SMART system, as Jamila have just highlighted for you, when we went live and what it stands for. So Olivia from our Collections Division will tell you a little bit more about the tremendous benefits and advantages that this new system means for the general public. Olivia?
Thank you, Mrs. Limonta. Our new tax system, SMART, simplifies the process of conducting, obtaining and renewing licenses, filing. This system, it promotes regulatory adherence and fosters a conducive environment for economic activities. All registered taxpayers can now effortlessly file and pay their taxes online from anywhere. So if you're on vacation overseas, if you're traveling to St. Kitts to conduct business there, if you're in the comfort of your home, once you have an electronic device with internet connections, of course, you can conduct your business of paying your taxes, filing, etc. The wait time in the long lines are avoided at Inland Revenue with this tax system. You cannot find parking in town. You want to avoid the long lines, you just log onto your computer, your electronic device, and you do your business right there without having to come into Inland Revenue and be waiting and getting frustrated. Okay? With this tax system, you can amend your tax return, such as if there are errors you make when you're filing, you can easily correct them and refile or as necessary. So if you make a mistake while you're doing your filing, you just go back into the system and amend, correct your filing, etc. In terms of any other thing with regards to the smart system, the system provides updates such as informing you if you are late with your tax return filing, any upcoming deadlines, or if you have credit, and so on. Overall, SMART ensures seamless compliance for entrepreneurs to manage their tax responsibilities. Simply put, our new tax system puts the taxpayer in the driver's seat of their tax affairs. So, our taxpayers out there listening to us this afternoon, we want you to come into the department, get your login information, and be ready to have smarts right at your fingertip.
Okay, thank you, Olivia. And I would just want to also add, because Olivia just took us through all of the nice benefits that our new smart system offers. I would also like to just wrap it up by adding that smarts provides enhanced security and data privacy, because traditionally under our old system, taxpayers were accustomed to receiving a remittance, a paper that your postman or mistress would bring in the mail, and you will fill it out. But this system offers you the advantage of going online. So we're going paperless, right? We have to save the trees. Some persons may be wondering, how safe is my information online? How do I know it's safe? How do I know it's protected? So we are here to assure you that this smart e-government portal employs very advanced security measures to safeguard all of our taxpayer information and ensure data privacy. So it's very safe. You can be rest assured. Right. So there you have it, the benefits that our smart system offers our taxpayers. We would also want to share a bit more information in terms of how does one register online, because even though we have already come and we have put out a lot of information, we still find that taxpayers, there are some inconsistencies with the filing. Some persons are still not knowledgeable about what is required. So hence the reason why we thought that it was best to come on Van and to share this information. So at this time I will allow our Ms. Jamela Clark to just delve in a little bit and remind our taxpayers how they can register on the smart online platform, on the e-government platform, sorry.
Okay, so you can go on to our website, www.sknird. You would look for the Smart tab. This is for the new registrants. You look for the Smart tab. You click Create an account by entering your email address and your password. Your email address is very important. An active email address is very important because that is what you'll use at all times for your login credentials. So after you have done that, you will receive a link in your email to activate your account. After you have activated your account, you would contact IRD to get an activation code that will now give you the full access to your account, and you will see all of your tax obligations. For those persons who may experience challenges or are not so computer savvy, because we have a lot of older folks who are not accustomed to the computer, they're accustomed to seeing the mail come out, and they're there struggling, we have a help desk staff that is readily available to assist them through the process, guiding them, and also helping them to file online also. So we are here to help you if you don't understand, or even if you do it already, you register before online, however you're still having any kind of difficulties, you can always call the help desk, or you can come in where we can assist you.
Very good.
Ladies, thank you very much for the info you've provided so far. Based on when this system was launched, I remember that it was launched, I believe, in early February last year.
That's correct.
What we just want to know, in light of the fact that what I'm garnering so far from you ladies, it is not expected, but it is aimed to make a lot of things easier for people, basically. How has it been going so far? Because it's going to be almost a year next month. So we just want to know, how has it been going so far? Are there any drawbacks? I don't know. But basically, how has it been going so far?
Yes, well, it has been going well so far. Earlier on, with any new system, there was some delays. Sometimes we experience a sluggish behavior in the speed in which the system would, complete the transactions. And in terms of the taxpayers, we were able to get them to buy into it when they realized how simple the process was. But we have realized that there are still some taxpayers who have not caught on to it. There are some taxpayers who forget that they are required to file online. And so we realize over time there's been a built-up of requests for waivers and that sort of thing because for one reason or the other, they have not filed. Take, for example, the unincorporated business tax, which is a quarterly filing of taxes, right? Taxpayers would indicate that they missed some of the quarters, be it March or June or September or December. And so because of that, they would have seen the interest and penalties appear on their online account, and they are concerned about these charges, and they would be writing to ask the department for waivers of some sort. So again, that's another reason why we thought that we needed to come to the public to remind taxpayers of their filing obligations and the time frame in which these taxes should be filed, that we are serious about what we do and we expect them to comply, and it is for their benefit, as Ms. Kelly would have earlier mentioned. So to date, we have realized that the compliance rate with which taxpayers are now registering on the online platform and filing their taxes, it is increasing. But we know that we also have an obligation to come back, to keep coming to the public, to reminding them of their expectations. And so a little later on, we'll have Olivia just remind the taxpayers that failure to file on time, what are some of the, the late filing fees and that sort of thing. Nobody wants to pay late charges. And so we are here to sort of remind and have them avoid that. We can never have enough information. So that is where we are to date, Mr. Brown.
Yes, and thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. And it's interesting you talk about penalties because even though I'm in good standing with the department, I don't even like to hear the word penalties, man.
Nobody does.
And I ain't talking about football, I talking about man, when you hear penalties, boy, something bad game. So what I do, man? But that is why Neva and Jamila and Olivia, you guys are here to not only inform the people about smart system and whatnot, but is to encourage them to be in good standing with the department, yes. To basically stay out of trouble, so to speak. And what we just want to know, in light of the fact that we're talking about smarts, what are the taxes that are administered by the smart system? I would imagine there's a whole plethora of taxes, so could you just divulge into those details?
Okay, so majority of the taxes have been launched. For example, corporate income tax, value-added tax, unincorporated business tax, tourism and development levy, withholding tax, and presently we are doing the business and occupation license and the liquor license. Currently, we are still finalizing the property tax module. So in that instance, you guys can go online to the www.sknIRL portal and click the quick pay tab, or you can come into the office and make payment before June the 30th of this year.
And what I would like to know for the sake of the radio listeners, if it is they fall behind, basically, does the department offer like payment plans, payment options, that kind of thing?
Yes, the department offers payment arrangement to our taxpayers who have fallen behind in their obligations. We have payment arrangement contracts, and we also have set-offs for those persons who would be doing business or is doing business with the government, they can do a set-off, which is we will have them sign some documents and that will take whatever payment from their payment at the Treasury Department. So yes, we do offer payment arrangements. So we want our taxpayers, those taxpayers who are in arrears, it could be CIT, property, VAT, withholding, whatever tax types that you have that is outstanding. We would like you to come into the department, request an officer to assist you from the collections division, and we'll be happy to assist you in any way possible.
Mr. Brown, if I may interject here and put a plug to something that Olivia spoke about. This month, as is widely known, is the payment of and renewal of business and occupation licenses. And so this is a fee, a license that is due annually, payable on or before the 31st of January. We realize as well that there are a number of taxpayers who have come into the department and they have fallen behind. And so before a license, before the certificate is actually issued, because also, as Ms. Clark mentioned, and I may just step back a little bit, taxpayers now have the option of filing online, renewing online for their business and occupation license. So taxpayers can go online, they can renew their license, they can pay online. However, they have to come into the department to receive that certificate. And as a part of our due diligence procedures, taxpayers will see us checking the status of all of the taxes for which they are registered for at the department. So for example, if the taxpayer is not in good standing and have fallen behind, to use the words that you used, they have fallen behind with their unincorporated business tax. Say for example, they have not filed the past 2 quarters of December of 2024, being September and December, then we have to usher them to the collections unit so that they can bring their filings, these 2 outstanding filings, up to date. All filings must be up to date. And if there are arrears, if taxpayers are owing for some back taxes that they have not paid, then with the assistance of our collections unit, Olivia and her team, they would have the taxpayer enter into what we deem a very comfortable payment. I see
very comfortable.
Very comfortable payment arrangement so that they can be in good standing, and then we are able to facilitate and avoid the delay of issuing that certificate. So that plug was necessary. Taxpayers, you're coming in to renew your business license, you can do that online. You come in to collect the certificate, but we will be going through a compliance check to ensure that you're up to date with all of your relevant taxes before the license is issued. So feel free to give us a call, visit our department. As Ms. Clark indicated, we have a very friendly staff at the Inland Revenue via our help desk who will inform you of your status to date so that we have a smooth transition, Mr. Brown. So I thought that was very important to mention at this time.
And ladies, you guys, of course, what are your social media platforms? You know, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, what do you have?
Well, we have our Facebook platform, but there's some work that has to be done there to get us back in the full swing of that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And that's not only for Nevis, that's for both St. Kitts and Nevis,
yes.
correct?
Well, Nevis has its own, but
okay.
We also work very closely with our colleagues on the sister island of St. Kitts, and so the Facebook page there is very active. And might I also add that, you know, the department, we have a rigorous email system. So every tax that is due, certain reminders, you will realize that you will frequently receive reminders about your tax obligations via your personal email. And I'm sure you have as well, Mr. Brown, if you have any taxes registered with us. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much for that, Mrs. DeMonta. And what we would like to know, and by the way, for those of you that have just joined us, we are here speaking with representatives from the Inland Revenue Department here in Nevis, here to tell us about the SMART system and, of course, encouraging you to, of course, get in good standing with them as it relates to the taxes and tax payment. And guess what? They're offering payment plans, not a matter of they're encouraging you to fall behind, but they want you to be up to date with your taxes, and of course, don't be falling into that word called penalties, because they would rather, you pay your stuff so that you can be on your way rejoicing. And ladies, what I would like to know also is what caused the initiative, the smart system being launched. I mean, Jamila, Miss Clark made mention of the fact that she does understand that persons are not too technically savvy, and of course I am garnering, and I've said it too, that I see it's a way of easing business and long lines, so to speak, long queues. But what really caused the IRD as a whole to say, hey, we want to put in place this smart system, because this was the main reason why? So that's what I'm getting at. What was the main reason for the smart system?
Well, Mr. Brown, you see, we conveniently garnered the acronym SMARTS, and you mentioned at the onset, everything is SMARTS these days. And separate and apart from the fact that we are a world that is technologically advancing, I mean, SMARTS is the way to go. SMARTS, it is designed to simplify and enhance the entire tax process. We do not want our taxpayers to be left behind. A lot of things were done manually. There was a lot of generating of remittances. Taxpayers can now, as Jamila mentioned earlier, and Olivia, sit in the comfort of their home. They don't even have to be on an island. They can be anywhere in the world, anywhere in their home, and be able to access this smart system, access the online platform. It's just a simplified process all across. It offers enhanced security, and these are some of the benefits that our older system just did not offer. And so to keep pace and to ensure that our taxpayers are abreast, we wanted something that was more modernized, something that was more user-friendly, timely, real-time updates. And so the reason for the shift in the SMARTS system. Some of the reasons.
Ladies, we just have a few moments left, but is there anything you feel, perhaps Miss Kelly or Miss Clark, or even you, Mrs. Lamonta, is there anything you feel that you wanted to let the public know but you didn't necessarily get to mention? Anything at all? Or any additional information, anything at all?
Well, except that something that just came to mind. These days, we realize that a lot of taxpayers are not only requesting information that maybe an external agency, could be the bank, their previous current workplace, would request that Inland Revenue provide information in terms of their status of their tax obligations with the department. And if, in order for us to present that information on time and accurately, it means that taxpayers should have filed in a timely manner and on time, so that we in turn can provide this information to them that they need to present, maybe for bank purposes, it could be for refinancing, to renew a contract. These are demands that external agencies places on our taxpayers. So our taxpayers, we are encouraging you to acknowledge the importance of your on-time filing on a whole with the department, so that we can have all of these processes, move smoothly. That's something that just came to my mind.
And I do appreciate that, Mrs. Lamonta. And Miss Kelly, do you have any other remarks you would like to make?
At this time, I just want to encourage the taxpayers to come into the department, if they have any queries, or they can call, interact with us, and we'll be happy to assist them in their tax matters.
And what about you, Miss Clark? Do you have anything you want to mention? Anything at all?
Well, I just want to encourage business license registrants and liquor license holders. Remember, this is a month to make payment. You have till the 31st of January to make payment without any penalty. So I'm just encouraging all persons who have business license or liquor license, this is the time that you can pay. And remember, you don't have to come into the office. You can make the payment on our portal. That's all.
Ms. Clark, as you mentioned that, I don't want to come across as if I'm some sort of advocate, but what are the penalties if let me just use myself hypothetically. I decide that, okay, I'm not able to pay by the 31st, and I will be able to pay maybe sometime after the 31st. I just don't have the money for that. What are the penalties, Ms. Clark, just to enlighten the listening public?
It will be $100 plus 1% per month for late payment.
Wow.
But if I may add,
Yes,
it's just
yes.
not $100 flat. Failure to file or renew your business license by the 31st of January, as Ms. Clark mentioned, is not just $100 flat. It is $100 per month for each month that the taxpayer fails to renew. So
Oh,
if it
sorry,
doesn't-
Mr. Per month.
Yeah, if the taxpayer doesn't come in until June, do the math, Mr. Brown. You can see the accumulation of the $100 monthly.
So let's back up a bit. You say $100 per month, and Jamila, Ms. Clark mentioned something about 1%.
Per month also.
Yes, she
One
did
point.
mention.
Okay, well, it's best I stay up to date then. Tell me, man. Why? Well, you see, that's why it's good to have a conversation, you know, and the IRD, of course, representatives from that department enlightening the public, you know. So we do, you know, thank you for your time, and we do appreciate it. And I don't know, Mrs. Lamont, if you have anything you want to mention, anything you want to leave the public with. I don't know.
Certainly, certainly.
Yes.
I mean, we are here as representatives of the department, representatives of the Nevis Island administration, and we thank them for their support. We, as officers, we are so excited about the opportunities that SMARTS and the e-government portal on a whole brings. And we just anticipate the continued support from the general public in meeting their tax obligations, because together we are shaping the future of taxation for a more prosperous and efficient tax environment. So I just wanted to leave those few words. Together we can achieve much. Thank you so much.
And thank you, ladies, for your time. Mrs. Neva Manners Limonta, Miss Jamila Clark, and Miss Olivia Henry. Thank you very much for your time, and we do appreciate it. All the best to you, and we hope that you will continue to achieve your desired objectives related to the SMART system, and, of course, other initiatives that the department may plan to embark upon, you know, at some point in time. So stay safe. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, radio listeners. I am your presenter, Jakita Thomas of the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis, with today's presentation of Tips for Tax. For today's presentation, I will focus on the renewal of business and occupation license. Please note that all approved business and occupation license is payable annually on or before January 31st of each year. Taxpayers are encouraged to use the Inland Revenue Department's new e-government portal to renew and make payment. For taxpayers who are unable to renew their licenses via the e-portal platform, kindly visit the department for assistance. Please note, all approved business license certificates can be collected at the department between 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. To facilitate a smooth business license renewal process and collect one certificate, taxpayers must present a valid receipt from the Register of Companies and the Nevis Financial Services Regulatory Commission, FSRC, where applicable, and must be up to date with their respective tax obligations. We wish to also advise that failure to renew on or before the 31st of January of each year will result in an interest charge of 1% monthly and a penalty of